had the induction, the swearing in of the new Swiss Guards on the 6th of May. So there's some new guards out there just having been sworn in. Their families present in the Cortile di San Damaso, the St. Damaso courtyard, just below the Apostolic Palace. So up above where the Pope is reaching up his hand there, if you follow in line of sight up to the right, it's right up there within the Vatican. In a very touching ceremony, the Swiss Guards grab onto a flag and they raise up 3 fingers as a sign of the Trinity, and they swear to protect the Pope at all costs. You see all the different flags there, people with Brazilian flags there on their hats. This nice sunny spring day in Rome. It's a little bit cool. It cooled down this week and we had kind of chilly temperatures. It snowed in some parts of Italy, not in Rome. But today it's nice if you're in the sun. So Pope moving past flags from Poland there. Saw a lot of people from India and Africa this morning making their way into the square. Of course, the ever-present Italian public there, it makes up most of the 20,000 strong crowd. That's the estimate given to us by the pontifical household that takes care of the tickets for these events, which are always free. If you ever want to come, you can write ahead, finding online the pontifical household and describing your group, the number to them, and it's basically a free-for-all when you get there. You see the people there in the front rows waving to the Pope right now, taking pictures. They would have gotten here about 7 o'clock this morning, possibly even earlier, to stand in line. They open up the gates and people come flooding in. For this chance to be with the Pope, to pray with him, to listen to his words. And we're going to hear his catechesis in the Italian language. We'll provide the translation for you of that, and we'll listen as the catechesis is summarized in 7 or 8 different languages. And often what he does coming off the tail end of a papal trip to an international country, he'll come back during the general audience and speak about it. And he just got back last night from North Macedonia and Bulgaria. He was following in the footsteps in those 2 countries of 2 great saints from the last century, Saint John the 23rd, who spent a lot of time, 10 years in Bulgaria as an apostolic delegate, and Saint Mother Teresa, who was born to Albanian parents in North Macedonia, in Skopje. So the Holy Father was there over the last 3 days, just came in last night, and he's right back on his feet this morning, out in amidst the crowds here. You see the band that was playing there as he made his way through the square in the Pope Mobile, those young people in red shirts there at the base of the columns of St. Peter's facade. So if you're following along on the traditional broadcast with us, we want to say thank you, welcome. And also if you'd like to catch this feed on Facebook, gives you the opportunity of engaging with us as well. My name is Alan Holdren, the Rome Bureau Chief here with Benjamin Crockett, who's our social media specialist. We'll catch up with Ben here later in the coverage, just to give us an update of who's following along and from where. If you want to send us a line and let us know also your prayer intentions, we always make sure to pray for those during a weekly Mass. Always in St. Peter's when possible, and if not, wherever we can here near the Vatican on a Friday. The Holy Father is beginning this general audience now, in which he'll begin with the sign of the cross. Let's prepare to listen to his words and receive his blessing.
In nome del Padre, del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo. La pace sia con voi.
Peace be with you and with your spirit. Now we'll hear a reading from the Bible in the different languages.
Dal Vangelo secondo Luca. Gesù disse ai suoi discepoli: per questo io vi dico, non preoccupatevi per la vita di quello che mangerete, né per il corpo di quello che indosserete. Il Padre vostro sa che ne avete bisogno. Cercate piuttosto il suo regno, e queste cose vi saranno date in aggiunta. Non temere, piccolo gregge, perché al Padre vostro è piaciuto dare a voi il regno. Parola del Signore.
De l'Évangile selon saint Luc. Jésus dit à ses disciples, « C'est pourquoi je vous dis, à propos de votre vie, ne vous souciez pas de ce que vous mangerez, ni à propos de votre corps, de quoi vous allez le vêtir. Votre Père sait que vous en avez besoin. Cherchez plutôt son royaume, et cela vous sera donné par surcroît. Sois sans crainte, petit troupeau, votre Père a trouvé bon de vous donner le royaume. » Parole du Seigneur.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you shall eat, nor about your body, what you shall put on. Your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek his kingdom, and these things shall be yours as well. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." The Gospel of the Lord.
Lesung aus dem Lukasevangelium. In jener Zeit sprach Jesus zu seinen Jüngern: Sorgt euch nicht um euer Leben, was ihr essen sollt, noch um euren Leib, was ihr anziehen sollt. Euer Vater weiß, dass ihr das braucht. Vielmehr sucht sein Reich, dann wird euch auch das andere dazugegeben. Fürchte dich nicht, du kleine Herde, denn euer Vater hat beschlossen, euch das Reich zu geben. Wort des lebendigen Gottes.
Lectura del Santo Evangelio según San Lucas. En aquel tiempo dijo Jesús a sus discípulos: Por eso os digo, no os inquietéis por la vida, qué vais a comer, ni por el cuerpo, con qué os vais a vestir. Vuestro Padre sabe que tenéis necesidad de ello. Buscad más bien su reino, y lo demás se os dará por añadidura. No temas, pequeño rebaño, porque vuestro Padre ha tenido a bien daros el reino. Palabra del Señor.
Leitura do Evangelho segundo Lucas. Naquele tempo, Jesus dirigiu-se aos seus discípulos, dizendo: Portanto vos digo, não andeis preocupados com a vossa vida e pelo que haveis de comer, nem com o vosso corpo, pelo que haveis de vestir. O vosso Pai bem sabe que precisais de tudo isso. Buscai antes o reino de Deus e a sua justiça, e todas essas coisas vos serão dadas por acréscimo. Não temais, pequeno rebanho, porque foi do agrado do vosso Pai dar-vos o reino. Palavra da salvação.
من إنجيل ربنا يسوع المسيح للقديس لوقا. قال يسوع لتلاميذه: لذلك أقول لكم لا يهمكم للعيش ما تأكلون ولا للجسد ما تلبسون، فهذا كله يسعى إليه وثنيو هذا العالم. وأما أنتم فأبوكم يعلم أنكم تحتاجون إليه، بل اطلبوا ملكوته تزاد ذلك. لا تخف أيها القطيع الصغير، فقد حسن لدى أبيكم أن ينعم عليكم بالملكوت. كلام الرب.
Z Ewangelii według świętego Łukasza. Jezus powiedział do swoich uczniów: powiadam wam, nie troszczcie się zbytnio o życie, co macie jeść, ani o ciało, czym macie się przyodziać. Ojciec wasz wie, że tego potrzebujecie. Starajcie się raczej o Jego Królestwo, a te rzeczy będą wam dodane. Nie bój się, mała trzódko, gdyż spodobało się Ojcu waszemu dać wam Królestwo. Oto słowo Pańskie.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buongiorno.
Dear brothers and sisters, good morning.
Sono rientrato ieri sera.
I came back last night,
tarda serata,
late in the
da un viaggio
evening,
apostolico di 3
from an
giorni.
apostolic voyage of 3 days, which took me to Bulgaria and North Macedonia. I thank God for having conceded me the possibility of making these visits and renewing my gratitude. And I renew my gratitude to the civil authorities of these countries that welcomed me with great courtesy and availability. To the bishops and the respective ecclesial communities goes my thank you for the warmth and devotion with which they accompanied my pilgrimage. In Bulgaria, the living memory of St. John the 23rd guided me. In that country, he was sent in 1925 as a visitator and then as an apostolic delegate. Encouraged by his example of benevolence and pastoral charity, I met with that people, called to be a bridge between Central Europe, Eastern and Southern Europe. Under the motto, Peace on Earth, Pacem in Terris, I invited all people to walk on the way of fraternity. And on this path in particular, I had the joy of making a step forward in an encounter with the Patriarch of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church, Neophyte, and members of the Holy Synod. Effectively, as Christians, our vocation and mission is to be sign and instrument of unity, and we can be it with the help of the Holy Spirit, putting first what unites us over what divides us or still divides us. Today's Bulgaria is one of the lands evangelized by St. Cyril and Methodius, that St. John Paul II put beside St. Benedict as patrons of Europe. In Sofia, in the majestic patriarchal cathedral of St. Alexander Nevsky, I stopped in prayer before the sacred image of the two brothers. They, of Greek origin, knew how to use their creativity, their culture, to transmit the Christian message to the Slavic peoples. They came up with a new alphabet with which they translated the Bible and liturgical text to the Slavic language. Also today, there's a need for passionate and creative evangelizers, so that the gospel may reach all of those who don't know it and can irrigate the new lands where the ancient Christian roots have become dry. With this in mind, I celebrated twice the Eucharist with the Catholic community in Bulgaria, and I encouraged them to be hopeful and generative. I thank again that people of God, which showed me so much faith and so much affection. The last act of the trip to Bulgaria was completed together with representatives of different religions. We invoked from God the gift of peace, while groups of children brought candles that were lit as a symbol of faith and hope. In North Macedonia, the strong spiritual presence of Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta accompanied me. She was born in Skopje in 1910, and there, in her parish, she received the sacraments of Christian initiation, and she learned to love Jesus. In this woman, small, but full of strength, thanks to the action in her of the Holy Spirit, we see the image of the Church in that country and in other peripheries of the world. It's a small community that, with the grace of Christ, becomes a welcoming home where many find shelter for their lives. At the memorial of Mother Teresa, I prayed in the presence of other religious leaders and a big group of poor people. I blessed the first stone of a shrine that's being dedicated to her. In North Macedonia is an independent nation since 1991. The Holy See has sought to support from the very beginning its path. And with my visit, I wanted to encourage, especially, its traditional capacity to welcome different ethnic and religious believers, as it's also been committed to welcoming and helping a great number of migrants and refugees during the critical period of 2015 and 16. A great welcome. They've got a great heart. Immigrants create problems for them, but they welcome them and they love them. The problems are resolved. This is a great thing of this people. An applause for this people. It's a young country, North Macedonia, from the point of view, the institutional point of view. It's a small country and in need of opening itself up to broader horizons without losing its own roots. For this, it was significant that precisely there came about a meeting with young people. Young men and women of different Christian confessions and other religions as well, Muslims for example, all brought together by the desire to build something beautiful with their lives. I exhorted them to dream big and to put themselves in play, as the young Agnese, the future Mother Teresa, listening to the voice of God who speaks in prayer and in the flesh of our brothers in need. I was struck when I went to visit the sisters of Mother Teresa. They were with the poor. I was struck by the tenderness, the evangelical tenderness of these women. And this tenderness comes from prayer, from adoration. But they welcome everyone. They feel sisters and mothers of all. But they do it with tenderness. Often we Christians lose this dimension of tenderness. And when there's no tenderness, we become too serious, acidic. These sisters are sweet in their tenderness, and they do charity. And charity as it is, without dressing it up. But when you do tenderness without charity and love, these works of charity, we put some acid in them. But tenderness is not that. It's not acid. These women are a great example. God bless them. Beyond the testimonies of the young people in Skopje, I heard those of priests and consecrated people, men and women who have given their lives to Christ. For them, sooner or later, comes the temptation to say, Lord, what is this small gift of mine before the problems of the church and the world? So I reminded them that a little bit of leaven can make all of the pasta rise, all of the dough rise, and a little bit of perfume, pure and concentrated, can give a good scent to the entire environment. The mystery of Jesus, the Eucharist, is a seed of life, new life for all of humanity. Holy Mass that we celebrated in the square of Skopje. This time, we renewed another time in a periphery of Europe today, the miracle of God that with few loaves of bread and fish, which are broken, divided and shared, we can satiate the hunger of the multitudes. To His inexhaustible providence, we entrust the present and future of these peoples that I've visited, and I ask all of you to ask Our Lady to bless these countries, Bulgaria and Macedonia and North Macedonia. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you.
Santa Maria, Madre di Dio, prega per noi peccatori, adesso nell'ora della nostra morte. Amen. Grazie.
Holy Father, praying leading the prayer of the Hail Mary for the peoples of North Macedonia and Bulgaria after his trip there. And he says, thank you, as we move on to the different languages, beginning with French, where we hear a summary of the catechesis that he's given, in this case, remembering the trip that he just made to those two Balkan nations. And this gives us a chance as well, Benjamin Crockett, to reach out to people who are following along with this transmission by way of social media in particular, as we have the possibility of engaging with them. What can people do to... this has always been something we bring up if people watch this transmission regularly. They hear us say this every week, that we're really interested in building this community beyond the square. We have at the general audience people, 20,000 by the estimate from the Vatican, the people who are gathered together, joined together with the Holy Father, joined together by their faith, praying together, being together. No, being there at the general audience is something that we can share, in a sense, by way of our social media and the television feed. How can people go about sharing that with other people and really extending the square beyond the physical parameters and perimeters of the Vatican?
Well, so what social media allows you to do is it allows you to bring about, this content, this media in a social aspect. So you can, one of the easiest things to do is if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, you can share it on your own feed. So that means that all of your friends, your family, your loved ones, they'll be able to see what you're watching, they'll be able to see and comment on it, and they in turn can then feel empowered and bring this content into their own little ecosystem. It's kind of the same way that if I go to the general audience and there's a moment that captures my heart, I'll go and talk to you about it, and then you'll talk to someone about it. Social media allows that to happen on this digital continent. Today, what's been so exciting about watching, kind of the views come in is, I'd never heard of the Tonga Islands. I can actually pull up this audience member's name. Su Mimona is from the Tonga Islands, and he's asking for prayers for his family, for the health of his mother, and for peace on earth. And here's someone that I'm, 3,000, 5,000 miles away from in the Pacific Ocean, and now we're connected digitally, and people are praying for him. We're receiving prayer requests from Nigeria, from the Philippines. We've received hundreds and hundreds of prayer requests for the Philippines because they're going through an election cycle like that. That's something that I didn't know was happening.
Yeah, it unites us, doesn't it? Here, the Holy Father greeting the pilgrims from French-speaking countries, in particular a group from the Diocese of La Rochelle, accompanied by Bishop Colombe, and also pilgrims from the Ivory Coast. He says he entrusts your prayers, the present and future of the people who I've visited on my recent trip to North Macedonia and Bulgaria. And he says now he also wants to remember a great man of the church who died yesterday, Jean Vanier. He worked with the poorest, with those who were discarded, also for those who in the womb of their mothers were condemned to death, trying to convince parents to send them away and not make them be born. And he received them, and he gave them life. And may Jean Vanier remain an example for all of us, and may he help us from heaven. God bless him. So Jean Vanier is the founder of L'Arche community, L'_ARCHE. If you want to look him up, he's got an incredible story. So here we'll just hear really quick a little summary of what the Holy Father just said in the French language. Ben, just finish your thought there. It is an incredible means of reaching the ends of the earth, and all people who are following along with this can participate in that action by just sharing this live broadcast, or if they're watching it as a recording, they can do the same. They can repost it.
Yeah, it's never been easier to evangelize and to share this content. So here at EWTN Vatican, we just want to encourage all of you who are watching to join this community to help us share these broadcasts. We're really counting on everyone to, if they can, to bring this message to the world. Every week, we increasingly are encouraged just by seeing this this community literally around the world come together. So join us.
Here we're going to listen to the English language summary and greetings. So we'll just let this Vatican official take it away.
Most Holy Father, the English-speaking visitors and pilgrims present today wish to express to you their sentiments of respect and esteem, and to assure you of their prayers for your ministry as a successor of Peter. At the end of the audience, we will sing together the Our Father in Latin. The words are found on the back of your ticket. The Holy Father will then impart his apostolic blessing, which he willingly extends to the members of your families at home. His Holiness also intends to bless any religious articles you may have brought for this purpose. And in a special way, his blessing goes to all children and young people, the elderly and sick, and those recently married. The following is a summary of the Holy Father's words this morning. Dear brothers and sisters, yesterday evening I returned from my apostolic journey to Bulgaria and North Macedonia. I renew my heartfelt gratitude to the civil authorities of both countries and to the respective Christian communities for their generous welcome. In Bulgaria, guided by the example of St. John the 23rd, I invited everyone to walk in the path of fraternity. It was a joy to meet Patriarch Neophyte and the Holy Synod of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church. And I was also able to spend time in prayer before the throne of Saints Cyril and Methodius, two brothers who knew how to use their culture with creativity in proclaiming the gospel. Today, too, we need such passionate missionary disciples. Finally, with representatives of different religions, we asked God for the gift of peace, while children carried burning torches, symbols of faith and hope. In North Macedonia, the spiritual presence of Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta accompanied me. We can see in this small yet strong woman an image of the church in that land, a small community that becomes a welcoming home where many can find rest. After Holy Mass, I met with priests and consecrated persons, as well as youth from different Christian denominations and other religions, encouraging them to listen to the Lord's voice. As I thank God for allowing me to visit these two countries, let us entrust their people to the loving providence of Almighty God.
Saluto I pellegrini di lingua inglese presenti all'udienza odierna. specialmente quelli provenienti da Inghilterra, Danimarca, Nigeria, Kenya, Sudafrica, Australia, India, Indonesia, Filippine, Canada e Stati Uniti d'America. Nella gioia del Cristo risorto, invoco su di voi e sulle vostre famiglie l'amore misericordioso di Dio nostro Padre. Il Signore vi benedica.
I greet the English-speaking pilgrims and visitors taking part in today's audience, especially those from England, Denmark, Nigeria, Kenya, India, South Africa, Australia, India, Indonesia, the Philippines, Canada, and the United States of America. In the joy of the risen Christ, I invoke upon you and your families the loving mercy of God our Father. May the Lord bless you all.
So the next summary of the catechesis is coming in the German language. Gives us a chance to greet all of our German-speaking followers, and especially those watching by way of EWTN's German headquarters, if you're watching on Facebook, and also CNA Deutsch, which is our German language news agency, sister agency of Catholic News Agency.
Sie versichern Sie zugleich Ihres besonderen Gebetsgedenkens für Ihren apostolischen Dienst als Hirte der universalen Kirche. Zum Schluss dieser Audienz singen wir gemeinsam das Vaterunser in lateinischer Sprache. Der Text befindet sich auf der Rückseite der Einlasskarten. Danach wird der Heilige Vater allen Anwesenden den apostolischen Segen erteilen. Gern schließt er darin ihre Angehörigen ein, besonders die Kranken und die Kinder. Zugleich segnet er auch die Rosenkränze und die übrigen Andachtsgegenstände, die sie dafür mitgebracht haben. Es folgt nun eine Zusammenfassung der Worte des Heiligen Vaters in deutscher Sprache. Liebe Brüder und Schwestern, gestern Abend bin ich von meiner apostolischen Reise nach Bulgarien und Nordmazedonien zurückgekehrt. Bulgarien bildet in besonderer Weise eine Brücke zwischen Zentral-, Ost- und Südeuropa, und so habe ich unter dem Motto Pacem Terris alle eingeladen, auch weiterhin den Weg der Brüderlichkeit zu gehen. In diesem Zusammenhang war mir auch die Begegnung mit dem Patriarchen Neophit und den Mitgliedern des Heiligen Synods der bulgarisch-orthodoxen Kirche eine besondere Freude. In der Tat sind wir Christen berufen und gesandt, Zeichen und Werkzeug der Einheit zu sein, was uns gelingt, wenn wir uns im Heiligen Geist mehr auf das konzentrieren, was uns eint, als auf das, was uns auch heute noch voneinander trennt. Die Kirche in Nordmazedonien, der Heimat der heiligen Mutter Teresa, ist eine kleine, aber gastfreundliche Gemeinschaft, die auf die Gnade Christi vertraut, um ein Ort der Stärkung für viele Menschen zu sein. Seit jeher leben in diesem Land ganz verschiedene Bevölkerungsgruppen zusammen. Alle gemeinsam stehen sie vor der Herausforderung, sich neuen Horizonten zu öffnen, ohne dabei die eigenen Wurzeln zu verlieren. Daher war es schön für mich, gerade dort mit den jungen Menschen dieses Landes zusammenzutreffen und sie zu ermutigen, den großen Traum einer guten Zukunft gemeinsam und im Vertrauen auf Gott Wirklichkeit werden zu lassen.
Saluto cordialmente i pellegrini dei paesi di lingua tedesca, in particolare la comunità scolastica della Realschule Santa Maria di Niederwiba.
The Holy Father greeting pilgrims from the German-speaking countries, and particularly the scholastic community of the Realschule Santa Maria di Niederwegbach. He's grateful for the hope and the strength that he's been able to receive and transmit during his recent trip. And he hopes that all of you who are on pilgrimage may come to reach into the same strength and joy of the faith and experience of communion of God and men.
Dankbar für die Hoffnung und Stärkung, die ich während meiner Reise vermitteln und selbst empfangen durfte, wünsche ich auch euch allen, die ihr hier auf Pilgerreise seid, Kraft und Freude aus dem Glauben, aus dem Erlebnis der Gemeinschaft mit Gott und den Menschen.
So that was the German catechesis. We give a special shout out to Thomas Kortzekwa and Frank Van Elk, who are sending out the broadcast from our German language studios in
Santo Padre.
Cologne, Germany. Now we hear in the Spanish language the catechesis. It will come directly from the Holy Father speaking in his native tongue.
Que acompañan con fervientes oraciones por sus intenciones de pastor de toda la Iglesia. Al final de la audiencia se cantará el Padre Nuestro en latín, cuyo texto se encuentra en el billete de entrada. Después, el Santo Padre impartirá a todos los presentes la bendición apostólica que extiende complacido a sus familiares, especialmente a los niños y a los ancianos, a los enfermos y a cuantos sufren. Bendice también los rosarios y objetos de devoción que los peregrinos llevan consigo.
Queridos hermanos, anoche regresé de mi viaje apostólico a Bulgaria y Macedonia del Norte y deseo agradecer a todos por la acogida que me han dispensado en estos días. En Bulgaria me he dejado guiar por el recuerdo vivo del Papa San Juan XXIII, que se desempeñó como delegado apostólico. En Macedonia del Norte me ha acompañado la fuerte presencia espiritual de la Madre Teresa de Calcuta, que allí nació. Ella refleja bien la imagen de la Iglesia en ese país. En el encuentro con los jóvenes, muchos también de diversas confesiones cristianas y de otras religiones, musulmanes por ejemplo, los he exhortado a soñar cosas grandes y a comprometerse como Madre Teresa. Escuché también los testimonios de sacerdotes y personas consagradas que han entregado su vida a Dios. Frente a la magnitud de los problemas del mundo actual, los invité a no desanimarse. Saludo cordialmente a los peregrinos de lengua española provenientes de España y América Latina. En este tiempo de Pascua, dejemos que la alegría de la presencia de Cristo resucitado llene nuestra vida de fe, esperanza y caridad. Que Dios los bendiga.
The Holy Father giving just a brief summary of his trip there to North Macedonia and Bulgaria. He says that he greets all pilgrims of the Spanish language that have come from Spain and Latin America. In this time of Easter, let's let the joy of the presence of Christ risen fill our lives of faith, hope, and charity. May God bless you. Now we're moving on to the Portuguese language. We give a greeting to ASI Digital, Rafael Tavares, and the whole ASI Digital team, and all those who are following along with this broadcast in the Portuguese language.
O Santo Padre concederá a todos os presentes a bênção apostólica, extensiva aos seus familiares, especialmente aos doentes, às crianças, aos jovens, aos idosos e a todos aqueles que passam por dificuldades. O Santo Padre abençoará igualmente todas as lembranças e objetos religiosos que os peregrinos tenham consigo. Resumo da catequese desta manhã. Ontem concluí a minha viagem apostólica de 3 dias à Bulgária e à Macedônia do Norte. Na Bulgária, tendo diante dos olhos a memória de São João XXIII, que lá residira como visitador e delegado apostólico, convidei todos a caminhar pela estrada da fraternidade. O exemplo dos santos Cirilo e Metódio, evangelizadores dos povos eslavos e padroeiros da Europa, procurando com grande criatividade, inclusive criando um alfabeto, transmitir o Evangelho, serve de modelo para os novos evangelizadores, a fim de levar a palavra de Deus àqueles que não a conhecem e irrigar as terras onde as raízes cristãs parecem estar secando. Já na Macedônia do Norte, terra natal de Santa Madre Teresa de Calcutá, mostrei como ela, uma mulher pequena em estatura, mas cheia da força do Espírito Santo, é a imagem da comunidade cristã naquele país, pequena, mas que pela graça se converte numa casa onde muitos são acolhidos e encontram restauração. Este país jovem, do ponto de vista político, tem demonstrado tradicionalmente uma grande capacidade de hospedar pessoas pertencentes a vários grupos étnicos e religiosos, e recentemente mostrou-se muito generoso ao acolher e socorrer um grande número de imigrantes. Que Deus possa proteger essas nações com a sua infinita providência, iluminando as comunidades católicas a serem sempre fermento e perfume de suave odor nessas terras.
Rivolgo un cordiale saluto ai pellegrini di lingua portoghese, in particolare ai fedeli di Ponte da Barca.
Cordial greeting I send out to the pilgrims of the Portuguese language, in particular the faithful from Ponte de Barca, and to different groups of Brazilians, wishing that this pilgrimage be for you an occasion to contemplate the beauty of the faith and the union with Christ, to be able to live fully your Christian vocation. God bless you.
Língua portuguesa, em particular aos fiéis de Ponte da Barca e aos diversos grupos de brasileiros, com votos de que esta peregrinação seja para vós uma oportunidade de contemplar a beleza da fé e da união com Cristo, para viver plenamente a vossa vocação cristã. Que Deus vos abençoe. Obrigado.
So just a reminder that this general audience is a look back on the Holy Father's trip over the last 3 days. He just got back last night from 2 days in Bulgaria and then the full day yesterday in North Macedonia, which is the birth country of Mother Teresa. So here is the Arabic language summary is given. We'll just remember what the summary was in English. Dear brothers and sisters, yesterday evening I returned from my apostolic journey to Bulgaria and North Macedonia. I renew my heartfelt gratitude to the civil authorities of both countries and to the respective Christian communities for their generous welcome. In Bulgaria, guided by the example of St. John the 23rd, I invited everyone to walk in the path of fraternity. It was a joy to meet Patriarch Neophyte and the Holy Synod of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church. I was also able to spend time in prayer before the throne of Saints Cyril and Methodius, two brothers who knew how to use their culture with creativity in proclaiming the gospel. Today, we too need such passionate missionary disciples. Finally, with representatives of different religions, we asked God for the gift of peace, while children carrying burning torches, symbols of faith and hope. In North Macedonia, the spiritual presence of Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta accompanied me. We can see in this small yet strong woman an image of the church of that land, a small community that becomes a welcoming home where many can find rest. After Holy Mass, I met with priests and consecrated persons, as well as youth from different Christian denominations and other religions, encouraging them to listen to the Lord's voice. As I thank God for allowing me to visit these two countries, let's entrust their people to the loving providence of Almighty God. So Ben, this message this week, just looking back on this papal trip, can you tell us a little bit about the reactions of people you were broadcasting on our social media all throughout the weekend? What did you find people were most interested in?
I saw an incredible kind of devotion to Mother Teresa. That I would say that maybe 30% of the comments were saying, Mother Teresa, pray for us. And so for me, that was an example of kind of how one life, one inspiring person who goes on initiative and is led like that can transform an entire generation. And that, that was kind of the marker. So I saw a lot of comments of that. We had, there was beautiful broadcasts of kind of the ecumenical dialogues and the meeting for peace, the holy masses, and I saw kind of this spirit of adventure that a lot of people, and myself included, didn't know a whole lot about Bulgaria or Northern Macedonia, and so us broadcasting it on social media, I think that was kind of an incredible I felt like. In a small way, the whole world was kind of on this apostolic journey following the Pope. So that was, I thought, incredibly beautiful. The fact that when we looked at the demographics, that it was in large part actually a lot of young people who were watching. We have a beautiful cross-section that watches our broadcast. But in this respect, it was a lot of younger people from the United States who were watching, and so for me, there's an enormous joy kind of seeing that complement with our other coverage.
Beautiful. So the Holy Father is sending a cordial greeting out to pilgrims of the Arabic language, in particular those who come from the Middle East. Dear brothers and sisters, the Lord never tires of calling. It's the force of love that helps us to begin again from the beginning. In Jesus, God seeks to give us always a possibility. He calls us every day to relive our story of love with Him. God bless you. So, just thinking about what you said there, Ben, about Mother Teresa being such a strong example. The Holy Father, in his words today, he spoke about how just a little bit of leaven will make the dough rise. Just a little bit of perfume concentrated and pure in a small space. If it's shared, if it's opened, it will impregnate, he said, the entire space, the entire environment. That as an example of what a saint does in the midst of society. And he shared those words originally with religious men and women and priests while on the trip, who had asked him, how do we do in the midst of all of our difficulties, or what in the church and in society, what can we do? He said, do what you do best, live out your Christian vocation, and you'll be a light to the world. Beautiful. So here we're going to hear now the Polish language summary and greetings, and we give a greeting ourselves to the EWTN Polska group out of Wrocław, Poland, who's broadcasting this live on their Facebook page as well.
Pobłogosławi też różańce i inne dewocjonalia, jakie pielgrzymi przynieśli ze sobą. W dzisiejszej katechezie Ojciec Święty podzielił się przeżyciami związanymi z podróżą apostolską do Bułgarii i Macedonii Północnej. Powiedział m.in. W Bułgarii prowadziła mnie żywa pamięć świętego Jana XXIII, który w 1925 roku został wysłany do tego kraju jako wizytator, a następnie delegat apostolski. Ożywiony przykładem jego życzliwości i miłości pasterskiej, spotkałem się z narodem, który jest powołany, by był mostem między Europą Środkową, Wschodnią i Południową. Bułgaria jest jedną z ziem ewangelizowanych przez świętych Cyryla i Metodego, których święty Jan Paweł II ogłosił obok świętego Benedykta patronami Europy. W Sofii, w majestatycznej katedrze patriarchalnej świętego Aleksandra Newskiego, zatrzymałem się na modlitwie przed wizerunkiem tych dwóch świętych braci. Dwukrotnie odprawiłem Eucharystię ze wspólnotą katolicką w tym kraju i zachęciłem ją, by była pełna nadziei i by wzrastała w łasce Pana. Ostatniego aktu podróży dokonaliśmy wraz z przedstawicielami różnych religii. Modliliśmy się do Boga o dar pokoju, podczas gdy grupa dzieci niosła zapalone lampiony, będące symbolem wiary i nadziei. W Macedonii Północnej towarzyszyła mi duchowa obecność świętej Matki Teresy z Kalkuty, która urodziła się w Skopje w 1910 roku. Przy Domu Pamięci Matki Teresy modliłem się w obecności innych przywódców religijnych i dużej grupy ubogich oraz poświęciłem kamień węgielny sanktuarium pod jej wezwaniem. Podczas spotkania z młodymi różnych wyznań chrześcijańskich, a także innych religii, zachęciłem ich, aby mieli wielkie marzenia i angażowali się, jak młoda Agnes, przyszła Matka Teresa, słuchając głosu Boga, który przemawia w modlitwie oraz w ciele potrzebujących braci. W Skopje oprócz świadectw młodych wysłuchałem też świadectw kapłanów i osób konsekrowanych, mężczyzn i kobiet, którzy oddali się Chrystusowi. Tam też sprawowaliśmy mszę świętą, powierzając Bożej opatrzności teraźniejszość i przyszłość narodów, które odwiedziłem podczas tej podróży.
Saluto cordialmente i pellegrini polacchi qui presenti.
I cordially greet the Polish-speaking pilgrims here present. Today, the Church in Poland is celebrating the solemnity of its great patron, Saint Stanislav, Bishop and Martyr. May his courage in the Lord and his fidelity to the spiritual and moral evangelical values be for each of you and for your nation a point of reference in the decisions and in the works before the challenges of our times. May the protection and blessing of God accompany you. Jesus Christ be praised.
Serdecznie pozdrawiam obecnych tu polskich pielgrzymów. Dziś Kościół w Polsce celebruje uroczystość swego wielkiego patrona, świętego Stanisława, biskupa i męczennika. Jego odwaga w Panu i wierność ewangelicznym wartościom duchowym i moralnym niech będzie dla każdego z Was i dla Waszego narodu punktem odniesienia w decyzjach i działaniach wobec wyzwań naszych czasów. Niech Wam towarzyszy Jego opieka i Boże błogosławieństwo. Niech będzie pochwalony Jezus Chrystus.
Santo Padre, i pellegrini di lingua italiana
Holy
presenti
Father,
a questa
the Italian-speaking pilgrims present at this audience express to you their sincere devotion and feel your gratitude. They accompany you with fervent prayers to the Lord for all of the intentions of your universal apostolic ministry. At the conclusion of this encounter, we will sing the prayer of the Our Father in Latin, the text of which is found on the back of your tickets, if you're there in the audience. At the end, the Holy Father will impart to all those present his apostolic blessing, which extends also to all of your dear ones, especially to the elderly, the suffering, children. He'll also bless your rosaries and other devotional objects that you've brought with you. Last Saturday, in Mexico City, Maria de la Concepción Cabrera was proclaimed blessed. She was mother of a family, and she gave witness to the salvific value of the cross of Christ, inspiring the foundation of different religious and lay institutions. We give thanks to God for her courageous witness, and an applause for Blessed Conchita.
Rivolgo un cordiale benvenuto ai pellegrini di lingua italiana.
Cordial greeting to the pilgrims of the English language, or the Italian language. I'm happy to welcome those participating in the general chapter of the Capuchin tertiaries, new priests from the Legion of Christ with their family members, staff and students from the Pontifical Athenaeum in Rome, Regina Apostolorum, celebrating its 25th anniversary. I greet different parish groups, scholastic institutes, in particular the Leonardo da Vinci High School from Pescara, the Highlands Institute from Rome, a delegation from the Bells for Peace, Campana della Pace from Vigo di Fassa, and also Cisco Italia, and those who come from the Meter Association, which works against the exploitation of children. A special thought goes to young people, to the elderly, to the sick, and also to newlyweds. Today is the anniversary of the supplication to Our Lady of Pompeii. We're in spiritual union with all of those who are at the Marian Shrine, as in other places, who will be praying at midday with faith the supplication to Our Lady, so that she may turn her gaze to the world and intercede for the entire Church and all of those who suffer in body and mind. And also today in my country, we're celebrating the feast of Our Lady of Luján. Let's pray all together for Argentina.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentatione, sed libera nos a malo.
Domino Hoviscum, sit nomen Domini benedictum, aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini. Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
So that concludes this week's general audience with the Viva il Papa there to finish things off. Long live the Pope. Here, signing off from our Vatican Bureau, I'm Alan Holdren, here with Benjamin Crockett. Thanks a lot, Ben, for your insights.
Thank you, Alan.
Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to your protection, implored your help, or sought your intercession was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, we fly unto you,